Hi everyone, it's Hadley from Park and Bailey, and welcome to the next edition of our mini-series. Today I'm going to be talking about how to downsize your home, possibly one of the more difficult moves you may make in your lifetime. It doesn't need to be that way, and hopefully with these few tips it might give you some assurance on that. Now, the first thing you got to do is to get a trustworthy independent estate agent to come over and look at your property and give you the lowdown on price and what the market's like in your particular location. Once you've had that valuation, probably maybe 2 or 3 of those just to get a feel for the market in general terms, the next thing you need to do is actually then make a plan, and that's what I want to talk about next. So first thing you need to do really is figure out when it is you want to move. Downsizers are notoriously bad at planning when to actually make their move. They don't put a date in the diary, and 1 year rolls into 2 and into 3, and in my parents' case about 20. Do think about your time frame for moving and stick to that timeline. Even if it's a year ahead, it's in a diary, something to work towards. Next thing I recommend is decluttering. Your house may have loads and loads of storage that is absolutely full to the brim, having lived in the property a number of years. Lofts, garages, sheds full of tools. These areas, you need to start thinking about decluttering, what to do with them. Are you going to give them to charity shop? Are you going to give them to family and friends? Are you going to be selling them? You know, make a plan and start that process. It takes far longer than you actually realise to do these things. Next on the agenda is actually figuring out what you're going to do next. Are you going to break the chain and go and rent somewhere? Plenty of pros and cons around that, and I'm happy to talk to you in person about that because it's a very individual need. And where you're going to go and move to. And it's this part of the puzzle for most people where they come unstuck. Are you going to stay local? Are you going to move out of area? What you really need to do is try and hone it down to 2 or 3 locations, and then you can work within that area. The one thing I'd recommend you don't do at this stage is actually start viewing anything. Just literally figure out whereabout in those areas you want to be. Use a tool like Rightmove, a portal that you can go on to, put in your search criteria. I recommend that you register on those portals because it will send you notifications every time something new is listed in those kind of areas. Be really flexible on what you're looking for. If you're looking for 4 bedrooms, for instance, pop in 3 or even 2 because you'll get more options, you'll see more availability of stock. Probably at this stage, no point in speaking to estate agents. They probably won't be able to help you too much until you're kind of ready to move and further down the line. And then the final thing really is to prepare yourselves emotionally. I know that sounds kind of strange, but it's true. We recently moved a lady that had been in a house 69 years. That's a long time. That's a lot of memories. Memories do go with you, so do hold on to that. You know when the right time for this kind of move actually is. And think 10 years ahead. There's no point buying somewhere and then in a few years' time thinking, well, we've got to move again. So really do plan ahead. Think about access, sloping property or steps, whatever. Is that going to be good for you in 10 years' time? Think about transport, local facilities, hospitals, doctors, supermarkets, shops, that kind of thing. So do consider all those factors in that plan as well. Probably 40% of my clients are what we would term as downsizers, so we have great experience in this sector of the market, and I'd like to think there's some speciality for us. And if you are thinking about making this step, and I know it's a big one, then do give me a call on 02 08 763 8060, or drop me an email, hadley@parkandbailey.co.uk, and I'll gladly pop over to you. If you're not local, I'll find you a friendly estate agent who can help you. I'm always open for a cup of tea and a chat, so do give me a call. Take care, bye now.